Would it not be easier if you took the lift?
What?
I said, would it not be easier if you took the lift?
I can't hear you, Alec.
Never mind.
Sorry, what was it you were trying to say?
Nothing important.
Oh, Alec. Look, I've got to try and stay fit. Some of these kids can be very demanding.
Oh. How are things at the hub of what we laughingly call our education system?
Well, I had to go and see the head today.
Why? What have you done?
No, it's about this careers drive. We've got to do all we can to help these kids find work when they leave.
Oh. Could you not give the wee buggers a map? With an arrow pointing to the local job centre?
Look, we're getting people to come in and talk about their jobs.
Oh, sounds good.
It is. Which is why I volunteered you as a guest speaker.
Great. You what? No way. I'm not standing up and making a fool of myself in front of a gaggle of giggling girlies.
Alec, I only want you to talk, not take your clothes off.
Thanks, but no thanks.
But I thought you said it was a good idea.
It is. For someone else.
And how am I supposed to explain to the head that my own husband can't even be bothered to show up?
Simple. I'll get my mum to write a sick note. Dear headmaster, wee Alec can't come to school today because his wife has given him a bloody earache.
Thanks, Mum.
The pressure is all mine. Now, if you'll excuse me, Perry is on the verge of a major breakthrough.
Alec?
Oh, well, not.
Well, thanks very much.
What a result, eh? I'll be telling all my chums about you, Jamie boy.
It's Mr. Calendar to you, and in the unlikely event of you actually having any chums, I'd rather you didn't mention me to them. Thanks very much.
Suit yourself. I can put a lot of work your way. A good brief's worth his weight in gold, you know.
Yeah, especially when it's been nicked out of somebody's sideboard.
Don't take this so personally, son. Ah, the sweet smell of freedom, eh? Can I drop you off anywhere?
No, I don't think so. Not unless you plan on giving me a piggyback.
Hello? Who's it? Oh, it's you. Alec, I'm putting you through. Alec, you're
Rosie, there is a certain etiquette commensurate with answering the telephone in a solicitor's office. Now, watch and listen. Semple Calendar and Calendar, good morning. This is Vera Tipple speaking. How may I help you? It's for you.
Hello?
It's you! How did he get this number?
No. Away and take a hike.
Who's that?
Just a friend.
Jamie back yet?
No, he's still in court.
I've warned him about ignoring those parking fines.
Good one, Alec.
Oh, talk of the devil. So, how'd you get on?
How do you mean?
The case.
Oh, you know.
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
We won.
Oh!
Congratulations,
That's
Jim.
3 in a row.
Go on, Jimmy.
Well done. Well, this calls for a little celebratory snifter, huh? At lunchtime. My shout, eh?
Mine's a pint of heavy.
Yes, what do you say?
Yeah, maybe. I'll be in my office.
Jamie doesn't seem himself.
It's just me and you then, Alec.
Yeah, maybe. I'll be in my office.
Hello? Semple Calendar and Calendar. Rosie Fiona McFarlane McConaughey speaking. How may I help you? Drop dead.
She's out like a light. Hope she wasn't too much trouble for you, Simone.
No trouble, Zoe. I'm sure the stains will come out of Bill's cassocks after a good soak.
No, well, don't forget to take Bill out of them first.
I hear Daddy has turned down the opportunity of addressing your pupils.
So much for privacy, eh, Simone?
Zoe, this is the suburbs. If it's privacy you want, you should live in the desert.
You'd still find us.
I have a suggestion. Why don't you ask my Bill?
Ask your Bill what?
To speak about his career.
Bill hasn't got a career. He's the vicar.
I'll have you know my Bill is extremely ambitious. He's hoping to extend his diocese.
Lucky old you. No, it wouldn't work, Simone. Our school's ethnically mixed, so if you got a vicar, then you'd have to find a priest and a rabbi and a Buddhist monk. And even then you're bound to upset the Satanists.
I take it that's a no.
Sorry, Simone. We really want a solicitor. But Alex made up his mind. He won't budge.
Zoe, you really don't know Daddy at all, do you?
Of course not, Simone. And Fleur was an immaculate conception. Sorry.
All men have delicate egos. What you have to do is to turn that to your advantage.
What, you mean flatter him?
No, dear. One has to be far more subtle than that.
I said, no way, Zoe. The lawyer is not for turning. You're not listening to a word I'm saying, Jamie.
I'm sorry, Dad.
What's the matter?
It's this case.
Well, you won it, didn't you?
Exactly.
Well, then what are you worrying about? I've already sent off the invoice.
Dad, Wilkins was guilty.
Well, all the more reason for him to be grateful. With any luck, he'll pay by return of post.
It's not about money. He's a villain. I just helped put him back on the street.
Oh, Jamie, these things happen. That's the business that we're in. Don't take it personally, son.
That's just what he said.
Well, I didn't mean it like that.
Look, Dad, I made a couple of days' holiday. Do you mind if I take them?
Well, okay. Yeah, you've won 3 cases in a row. You deserve a wee break.
Great.
Do you good.
Thanks, Dad. I'll see you.
Well, now...
Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Send me a postcard.
That's brilliant, Mr. Wharton. I'll see you Friday then. Thanks. Bye.
Is that Wharton the butcher?
The very same. Pleased to meet you with meat to please you. He's coming down the school.
What's happened to his usual supplier?
No, he's agreed to talk to the kids. Do you know what? I'm almost there now. I've got the butcher and the baker.
And all you need now is a solicitor. Now, I've told you before, I'm not doing any talking, right?
I know. Anyway, I'm all right for a solicitor now.
You are?
Mm-hmm. Sonia's brother's really friendly with the senior partner at Brownlow and Bentley's.
Brownlow and Bentley's? You can't use them.
And why not?
Because you're my wife. It'll be too humiliating.
Well, who's going to know apart from a bunch of school kids and anyone who reads the local paper?
A local paper? You're kidding.
The head wants as much publicity as possible.
Oh, Zoe, now please, don't do this.
I'm sorry, Alec. You said you
No,
wouldn't do it.
okay. Now look, I'll make an exception just once. This is a favour to you. I'll talk to the kids.
But you said...
No. It's all right. I'm a great public speaker, okay?
I don't know.
Oh, please, Zoe.
All right.
Oh.
I never could refuse you, could I? Putty in your hands.
Oh.
Hello, Semple Calendar and Calendar.
It's you!
Look, aye, well, of course there's something different. I live in Pinner now. An experience like that is bound to change a girl. Look, I have to go. No, didn't bother. Look, will you just away and stop hassling me?
Rosie, dear, you know, if you have a problem, you can always talk to me about it. I do pride myself on being a woman of the world.
So you are, Mrs. T. You couldn't get to your age without picking up a thing or two.
So, what is it? Is it a telephone pest?
No. Robbie isn't a telephone pest. He's an all-round pest. I win rosettes for it.
Robbie.
Aye, he was my boyfriend back in Scotland for the neighbouring farm. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Sweet. Were you close?
Aye, well, you could walk it in about 6 hours on a good breakfast.
No, I mean, had you known each other long?
Aye, since we were wee, when it was only natural what we was living on top of one another.
How does he feel about you coming to London?
Well, I didn't tell him. I just packed my bags and left. I never really was one for goodbyes. Right now, that's me away for my dinner.
Rosie, how could you?
Easy, I'm hungry.
Do you know this is the first speech I've made since Simone's wedding? On that occasion, I let my emotions get the better of me. I sank to my knees and I sobbed, "Thank you, Lord," before 200 guests. And Simone fainted. Got a good laugh, though. Come in.
Mr. Calendar, do you know when Jamie will be back? Only I've had 1 or 2 clients on the phone.
Yeah, it should be tomorrow, Vera. He's got this flu that's going around, you know.
Oh, dear. Give him my love.
Right. Is that all? Only I'm a wee bit busy, you know. Zoe's school has asked me to make a speech tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite an honour.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't Mr. Wharton, the butcher, speaking as well?
Well, I wouldn't know about that. Everything else okay? Rosie's settling in all right, is she?
Well, I'm a little bit concerned about her.
Oh, really?
It's nothing to do with her work. This is personal.
Oh.
She had a boyfriend back in Scotland.
Oh, good for her.
Robbie. A simple country boy, ruddy-cheeked, kind-hearted and innocent.
Yes, I do get the picture, Vera.
Apparently, she's just run out on him. Oh. I mean, poor boy. His hands, calloused from the rigours of his daily toil, now wipe the tears from his eyes.
Shall I fax him a Kleenex, do you think?
Rosie doesn't know her own mind. Oh. She thinks that her new life here is going to be very exciting, and by the time she finds out that it isn't, it may be too late.
Mm. You mean Robbie might have found someone else? A sheep or something?
No, if only I could rekindle the flame of romance.
I think that's your phone, Vera.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mr. Calendar.
Oh, Vera, be careful. Cupid's bow can be very lethal. Handle with caution, eh?
Simple Calendar and Calendar. Oh, no, she's not here at the moment. Is that Robbie?
I hope that my talk has been both useful and informative. Thank you. So, what do you think? Pretty good, huh?
Great.
Any criticisms? I mean, I can take it, you know.
Well, it's a bit heavy going, Alec.
Ah.
I mean, take Mr. Wharton the butcher. He ran through...
Excuse me. But what I'm doing bears no comparison to Mr. Pleased to meet you with meat to please you Wharton, waffling about the price of his bloody giblets.
Alec, the attention span of these kids has been developed watching Australian soaps and The Big Breakfast.
So?
Some of them have been known to fall asleep mid-sentence.
So?
For the entire winter.
So, look, I do know about children. If you treat them like adults, they'll behave like adults.
And if they don't?
Well, you just turn their bloody backsides. Now, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
OK.
Now, there is something else you can help me with.
What's that?
My image. I feel that the casual look would help me relate to the kids better.
Now, that is a good idea.
Oh, I'm glad I got something right. I thought maybe I should wear my sky blue safari suit with my white patent leather loafers. What do you reckon?
I reckon that's the fashion police coming to take you away.
Esteemed headmaster, members of staff, learned scholars, and, of course, matron. I would like to say
Jamie.
that I'm... Oh, Jamie!
Hi, Dad.
What are you doing here?
Oh, no, thanks.
I'll get you a drink.
No, Zoe, it's OK. I'll get it.
What you been doing with yourself, then? Feeling brighter?
Well, actually, I've been doing a bit of thinking.
Well, that must have taken your brain by surprise.
I've got something to say, but not really sure how to say it.
Well, spit it out. Shoot from the hip like I taught you.
Well, this has been building up for quite a while, but I'm thinking of giving up law.
You what?
I don't think I want to be a solicitor anymore.
What are you going to do, join a circus?
Oh, Dad.
I'm sorry, Jamie. You're not some fresh-faced article clerk now, you know. You're a partner, my partner. Calendar and Calendar, remember? And what about your clients? You can't just walk away from them.
Well, I can't spend the rest of my life unhappy either.
Well, you were pretty happy when I made you a partner.
No, Dad, this isn't about us. It's about me. See, when I went into law, I wanted to do something constructive.
Well, so you are. You're building up a business.
Am I? I spend most of my time doing conveyancing. The rest of my time I spend dealing with bickering idiots and their stupid divorces.
Oi.
Sorry.
Look, I know we don't get much criminal work, but what we do get goes your way.
I know that's the point. If a good solicitor is someone who gets guilty people off, then I'm not sure I want to be one anymore.
Jamie, look, I know how you feel. I've felt the same way myself, I promise you. It's this Wilkins case, isn't it? It's upset you. But don't blow it up out of proportion. Don't let it ruin your life.
Oh, you mean don't let my scruples interfere with my career prospects? Just think of the money.
Is that what you think I do? Is it? Is it?
I didn't say that.
Now listen, Jamie. When I first qualified, I already had a wife and 2 kids to support, and one of them was you. I had responsibilities. I had to put food on the table, a lot of food.
Yeah, but you ate it all.
Shut it, Zoe.
Dad, there are some things more important than money. Money doesn't rule my life.
Oh, well, I'm glad for you. You ungrateful little
Well, there's obviously
whippersnapper.
no point talking to you,
come on,
is
you
there? I'm
two
going.
can't.
Good. You know where the door's kept, don't you?
I do.
Bloody
Jamie.
cheek.
Well, that went well.
Oh, no, not more flowers.
Yes, they've just been delivered. Aren't they beautiful?
I hate roses. I always have hated roses, and I always will hate roses. Robbie always used to think he was that cute sending me roses because of my name. Suppose I should think myself lucky I wasn't called Horse.
Rosie!
Sorry, Mrs. T, but all this caper's the last thing I needed. I want to forget about Robbie. And I'm fair fuming with my auntie.
Well, what on earth has she done?
Well, she must have told him this address. That woman's got a gob on her bigger than a bullock's backside.
You know, I think I could quite enjoy public speaking.
There's an old dosser down the market's a bit like that.
I might make a stab at the after-dinner circuit.
Alec, by the time you finish speaking, they'll be ready for breakfast.
Thank you for that vote of confidence.
I'm only joking. Look, why don't we invite Jamie and Portia round for a drink?
No,
Why not?
because it's Thursday.
So,
I always shave my legs on Thursday.
how long's this going to go on for?
Until he sees some sense and comes back to work.
You're being obstinate. Look, if you could just talk to him face to face, then you could...
Subject closed. Okay, Zoe? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get back to my speech. We don't want to be upstaged by Mr. Wharton the butcher, do we?
Cheery, cheery, Mrs. T. Are you all right?
Well, actually, Rosie, I was thinking about your Robbie.
Oh, what about him?
I keep seeing him wandering lonely on a hillside, calling your name.
I think you're going delirious.
Rosie, can't you imagine how he must be feeling? Can't you? Can't you?
Aye, I know. Maybe I have been a wee bit hard on him. Aye, it was nice of him to send me all of them flowers.
Why don't you telephone the poor dear boy?
Because I'm not the girl I was, Mrs. T.
But you must miss him, just a little.
Aye, I suppose... No! Oh, I didn't ken. My brain's fair trammelled. If only I hadn't found out where I was working, everything would be all right.
Now, do you really think so?
Aye. Robbie!
Rosie! Oh, you haven't changed at all. Still as fresh as the morning dew. If a bit on the fat side.
Oh, what are you doing here? I tell you not.
Now, I'll tolerate no arguments, so get your bags.
Robbie, delighted to meet you. I'm Vera, Rosie's workmate.
Really? You looked a lot younger on the phone. Still, there's plenty of life in the old dog yet, eh? Now, come on, Rosie. The Porsche is double parked and I've not got all day.
You drive a Porsche?
Aye. Ever since I wrote off the Mercedes with my Land Rover.
But I thought you were a penniless farm boy.
Penniless? Penniless? I've 3,000 acres and some of the finest livestock in the country. Our family motto is sod off because we're rich.
I'm not going anywhere with you, Robbie. I'm quite happy staying here working with Mrs. T.
Don't be daft, girl. We have loads of old people of our own in Scotland. You can work with one of them.
What?
Look, Rosie, I've forgiven you for walking out on me. I even got my man to send you flowers.
Your man?
Aye. What more do you want?
You ken something, Robbie McIntosh? I'm glad you came here to get me.
Aye. I thought you'd see sense in the end.
Because I'd forgotten what an obnoxious prat you are.
Now, hold on.
Hold on a wee minute. You're nothing but a jumped-up, arrogant, spoilt, wee daddy's boy.
She always was a feisty wee thing.
I will right now what I'm telling you to your face. So go on, get lost, get out, and don't bother coming back.
Do you really mean that?
Aye, spot on.
What about the roses?
Well, I'd be delighted to show you where to stick them.
I don't suppose you know how I can get in touch with Alison Banks, do you? You always want a lousy shot anyway.
What an ill-mannered lout. He's not at all as you led me to believe.
I can't remember seeing very much about him, Mrs. T.
Well, you must have implied it, dear. Whatever possessed you to go out with somebody like that in the first place?
Ah, well, he wasn't always like that, Mrs. T. I mean, he was all right till he was about 6. You know, that livestock started to go to his head.
Isn't it always the way?
Funny, though, Marty swears blind she never told him where I was working.
Really?
I'd like to thank whoever did, though. Even if they were sticking their neb into somebody else's business. We top up, Mrs. T.
Alec, what's going on? Have you got a woman in there? Because if you have, you can let the air out of her immediately and come out. Alec, if you don't come out, I'm coming in. Alec, you're not even dressed and you're speaking in an hour. Oh, have you? How you found it again?
It's a miracle. I'm cured.
What's going on, Alec?
So, look, I don't think this is such a good idea. If it's all right with you.
No, it's not all right with me. What happened to the great orator, the after-dinner speaker?
Well,
You are not bottling out, Alec.
So, I had this terrible dream. I was standing in front of all these school kids and they were laughing at me and I started to shrink. And I got smaller and smaller until I was so wee you could have put me in a matchbox.
You are going to be in a different kind of box altogether if you let me down. Now, you are going to get dressed and then I'm taking you to school, okay?
And as I always say to all of my customers, I'll be pleased to meet you with meat to please you.
You're on next, Alec.
Thank you, Mr.
I don't feel very well. I
Enlightening
think I want to
talk.
see Matron.
And now, to speak about a career in law, is the husband of one of our most valued teachers, Mr. Alec Callender.
Right. Well, good morning. The legal profession is one steeped in history and tradition.
Morning, miss.
Oh, thanks.
So, what did you want to see me about?
Not out here. Let's go inside.
The origin of British law can be traced back to the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215. And before anyone asks, no, I was not there in person.
It's in here.
That's not the girls' showers, is it?
Just get inside.
With it came the growth of the English legal system.
Oh, Zoe.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. I just thought it'd be best if you two met on neutral territory.
All right.
Depending as it does on precedent. Now, being a solicitor is boring. In fact, sometimes it can be very boring. And you see this speech? This is boring too. And that's not all. Sometimes being a solicitor can be frustrating and even heartbreaking. But there are other times when you feel privileged to be a small part of one of the most respected and admired legal systems in the world. It's not a perfect system, but it's the best we have. And working within it, you not only have a chance to serve your community, but also to change that system for the better. That's why the legal profession needs energetic, determined, idealistic young people like you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calendar. And now our next speaker is unusually for a man.
Hello, Dad.
Oh, not nowadays.
Hi, Jimmy.
He is a dental.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I
Mr.
thought I'd come for a bit of
Jeffrey
careers
White.
advice, you know.
Great speech. Yes, it was, wasn't it? Thank you.
Dad,
Jamie, some of us have got work to do, you know.
look, I'm sorry about what I said the other day.
Oh, you had a point. Small one, perhaps.
And I've decided I'm coming back to the office.
Have you now?
There's one condition, though.
Look, I've told you before. A topless receptionist is out of the question.
Look, I've spoken to the law centre in Harlesden. They're looking for a volunteer solicitor to do 1 day a week.
Oh, that's no problem. You lose a luncheon voucher, mind. Agreed?
Agreed.
You're on.
That was marvellous, Alec.
Yes. Oh, and I've got some good news. The lad's coming back to work.
Oh, that's great news.
So, my speech has done some good already.
Well, no, not exactly. It was more Portia, really. She's pregnant.
What?
That's wonderful, Jamie.
I'm going to be a father.
But how?
Well, first of all, I stepped into a little off-the-shoulder role, and I turned the music down really low.
How's Portia?
Oh, she's fine. It's me that keeps on feeling sick. So how'd you feel, Grandad?
I couldn't be happier.
What about you, Grandma?
Oh, don't. Look, duty calls. I'll see you both later.
Bye. Bye, Zoe. Now, how about a celebration drink? My treat.
It'll have to be, Dad. I'm a man of responsibilities now. You know, I've got to make sure there's food on the table and school uniforms. Have you seen the price of them? It's diabolical. Feels like I can kiss that Ferrari goodbye.
Oh, they're not all they're cracked up to be. Lousy mileage. Now, what you need is a nice, dependable family car.
Yeah, you're right. Dad, do you think this means my life's officially over?
Absolutely.